Hey guys, Doer Dreamer. So yeah, this past Monday, WWE released a video package to hype up the main event at SummerSlam, the match between the WWE World Heavyweight Champion John Cena versus the Beast Incarnate, the man that broke Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 30, Brock Lesnar. Now, when I saw this, when I first saw this I actually was really intrigued of how they made this video package look like a hype video for an MMA fight. And this is something that Heel Steven was actually pointing out, and then when I watched it I said, wow, you're right, it does make me feel like I'm watching a video package from UFC or Bellator or whatnot. And it was very intriguing, you know, it was very intriguing. But then I watched it a second time and I realized there was a huge flaw in that video. Now, I know you're thinking, like, what flaw are you talking about? So, before I get into this flaw, let me explain to you about cutting a promo. When you're cutting a promo on somebody that you're going to be facing or working with at a big event or in just a regular match. When you cut a promo on anybody, one thing you do not do is bury the person. Like tell them, I'm gonna beat you down, beat this, beat that, and not even say anything good about the person. Every promo that I've heard from from the greats, from Ric Flair to Hulk Hogan to Triple H, yes, I say Triple H, to even John Cena, they always build that person up, talking about what's good about that person. You know, talking about, you know, you've been this champion, this type of champion this many times. You're the biggest athlete. You're the strongest I've ever seen. But then after you actually build them up, that's when you actually start to tear them down by saying, but then after that, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to overcome the odds and I'm going to retain my WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Or say that, well, all that, I know your weaknesses. Things like that. So, with that being said, the whole formula of cutting a promo, especially when you're talking about somebody, is you build them up and then you tear them down. You don't just tear them down and bury them as if they were a nobody. And as Mick Foley has mentioned it in his book, if you're going to tell people that I'm facing a nobody and you beat that person, you just beat a nobody. There's no credibility in beating a nobody. And if you lose to that nobody, you just got beaten by a nobody. So what I'm trying to say is you have to add credibility to the person that you're working with, or fighter that you're working with. And then if you beat that person, you can say that, whoa, I just beat the guy that is a multi-time world heavyweight champion. I have a shot. It adds credibility to your character. Now, with that being said, here's the mistake that I saw in the video. And that person is Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I know what people are thinking. Well, Brock Lesnar can't talk on the mic. He has good, decent mic skills. But here's the thing. Yes, he has cut some good promos. Not the greatest of promos where it's memorable, but good, decent promos nonetheless. The guy can talk. I'm not going to say he can't cut a promo. But through that whole video, he just continues to talk about himself. That I conquer, I dominate everything. Anything that comes right in front of me, I crush. That kind of thing. And talk about his accolades too. But then he also goes as far as say, I'm gonna destroy John Cena. I'm gonna leave him in his own blood, his urine, his vomit. I'm gonna make sure he never gets up again, and I will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And not once has he ever put John Cena over. At all. Nothing good to say. Now, with that being said, if you didn't have nothing good to say about the person, you're pretty much just saying that this guy is a nobody. And he's the World Heavyweight Champion. You just pretty much told John Cena that you're nobody to me. And what happens if Brock Lesnar beat John Cena? Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar will be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But guess what? You took that championship off of a nobody. And that's not really credible to me. That's not credible at all. And if you lose to John Cena, you just got beat by nobody who happens to be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Alright? Now, this is why I feel sometimes it's always best to let Paul Heyman do the talking. I mean, like I said, with him talking and being aggressive and ruthless, that's great. You know, it does show some feeling to it. But as a wrestler myself, it just, he didn't put over John Cena at all. When you hear Paul Heyman cut promos for him, being his mouthpiece, he does put over the opponent. Strong. But then, of course, he breaks them down and tell them, but my client, Brock Lesnar, is going to conquer you. That kind of thing. And when Brock Lesnar does conquer that person, it adds credibility to his character. I mean, think about when he was facing Undertaker. The whole time, Paul Heyman was doing the talking, putting over the Undertaker's accolades, the streak itself. And then with Brock Lesnar beating him, guess what? That's a huge credibility on Brock Lesnar. Now, if they didn't put over the streak and say, "Oh, he's nothing. I can beat him in WrestleMania, no problem," then it's gonna be for nothing. It did had a big, huge impact when you build up your opponent. And I know there are a lot of John Cena haters who probably disagree with me and go and say, "Well, Brock Lesnar is playing the character of being very confident." Oh yeah, but a lot of wrestlers are confident too when they cut promos. Like The Rock, for one, being very cocky and confident, but he still puts over his opponent. Same thing with Daniel Bryan, does the same thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin does the same thing. Talks a lot of trash, but still puts the person over. And that's the way to do it. Throughout that whole video package, John Cena pretty much put him over about around 10 times. A little over 10 times. Talking about his career in the MMA. He said he left the WWE to pursue a successful career in MMA. Talk about his size, his strength, his endurance, his aggression, everything. He was putting him over strong. And of course, tearing him down, saying, "Well, I've been in the ring with him before. I know how to beat him, but I'm still uncertain if I can beat Brock Lesnar. But I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to rise above the odds." That's how you cut a promo, people. Now, I'm hoping that when Paul Heyman does the talking, that Paul Heyman is going to put a lot of credibility on John Cena. But I know a lot of people out there is probably going to look at this video and say, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about." Again, I've been in this business for 10 years, so I definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to cutting a promo. So, with that being said, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me or you disagree with me? And also explain why you agree or disagree, and not just say, "Oh, I definitely agree with you," or just say, "Oh, you're just a Cena fan," and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not a huge Cena fan, nor I am a huge Brock Lesnar fan. But I only look at this as a wrestler. And like I said, as a fan, I am looking forward to watching this match. But anyway, leave your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright guys, take care.